Hey everybody, Jeff Joyner here. Got a fun video for you today. You may know that I wrote a book about 1.5 years ago. A lot of really cool things have come out of that. But one of them is that, like a few college classes are using my book as a textbook for their classes. And I'm up in Michigan today, in Southeast Michigan, where there is a homeschool group that is using my book. And we have a good friend, Katie Chesner. Chuck and Katie are part of our business team. We've known them for many years. And she's got kids that are part of this homeschool co-op group and proposed a class on Say It Like It Matters When It Matters. And so it's just a handful of middle school kids, but all semester long, they've been studying my textbook, the book I wrote, and watching my YouTube videos. And so I said, would the kids like it if I came up as a guest speaker sometime? And they said, oh, they would love that. So here I am, and we're gonna make a little video. We got permission from the parents to be featuring their kids on the internet. And so it's going to be a really fun day.
My name is Katie Chesner. I am part of a homeschool co-op called Heritage in Plymouth, Michigan, a little bit far from you, but not too far, so thank you for coming. A little bit about the co-op is we have 80 different Christian families that come here, and it's for enrichment for the kids, very academic for the kids, kindergarten through high school. And we go through, all the teachers are parents, and so we go through what's your educational background, what are your hobbies, what are your passions. That's really important too. When somebody teaches a class, we want it to be very enthusiastic, of course, and it makes all the difference. And so this class, Say It Like You Mean It communications class, it has been really great this whole year. It's to 6th through 8th graders, which has been really neat. It really was a neat way to start the year. That first class, I gave them each a copy of your book, Jeff, and you signed it for them, which was just this unique experience for them, that they had their signed copy of this book. And so it was like the start of the class had this enthusiasm and excitement of uniqueness, right? And so each week we go through a chapter. It's once a week we meet. So we have done the 2 parts of the book. There's 3 parts. The first part is communication. The third part is communication. The first part is public speaking. We've skipped over the selling part because they're 6th through 8th graders. And so we've really enjoyed it. We've been able to take these topics and use them at home and in our communities. But one way to hone in that topic is we go to An Epic Life, the YouTube videos, and I find videos that are all very funny, but they all at the end of them have a call to action plan. And so we're able to hone in that topic and have really good communication just on that topic too. So it's just been this really great year, and I'm gonna be teaching it next year, and I'm so looking forward to a larger class of kiddos and more kids in the 6th to 8th grades not having fear of public speaking, understanding these concepts. Next week we're actually talking about how to speak to yourself and how to communicate with others. So looking forward to the way that's gonna impact their lives, of course. I wish I would have learned that in middle school.
Man, you and me
right?
both. And so today, some of the boys have prepared speeches that they're going to be doing for me.
They have. They're so
cool.
excited. Yeah, so we are using the outline in your book that you taught about how to prepare a speech, all the different parts of from an introduction to how to bring your points together, to have a good conclusion, all those different parts of that to really engage the audience. And then again, that end part, how you always end all your videos. What is your call to action? What are you trying to get across to this audience, right? We spend a lot of time on fear, what it is, why would they get that dry mouth, all that kind of stuff. And so I think that's, per the parents, that's been helping them in life with sports and everything, of that mindset of, why am I nervous? What can I do to help somebody versus think all about me and be selfish? So again, I think this is gonna impact and have a little bit of a ripple effect on their confidence and just the way they interact with people.
That's awesome, Katie. Better than any class I took in school. That's for sure. All right, we're going to introduce you to some of the boys that are here.
All right, my name's Nicholas, and I'm 13, and I love to play hockey with my brothers outside, and I like to go to the rec center with my friends.
All right, and you were part of this this class, and then you've gone back. You're at public school now.
Yeah.
But you came out of school today to come participate with us. That's awesome. Appreciate you being here.
Hi, I'm Graham. I'm 13 years old. I like to play 14U hockey, and I like playing Minecraft. Yeah.
All right, go blue.
Hi, my name is John. I'm 11. I like to play hockey. I'm a star defenseman. I like to play Roblox.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Evan. I'm 11 years old. I love reading and I like playing video games.
What kind of stuff do you like to read?
History. I love history.
Oh, that's interesting. Awesome.
Again, I'd like to thank Mr. Jory for coming out here today. Have you ever wanted to travel a place you're reading about in your textbook? Hi, I'm Jackson Bowen, and I'm going to tell you how virtual reality can enhance the school system. Virtual reality, or VR, is a simulation that uses 3D displays to provide an immersive feel of a virtual world. VR can be used to enhance the school system by allowing kids to experience things that a normal textbook cannot do. There are 4 commonly accepted learning styles: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and reading or writing. Virtual reality caters to far more than any whiteboard or textbook alone.
Hi, my name is Evan Braun. I am 11 years old and in 6th grade. And today I'll be talking about if we should remove slave owners from history books. But first, I'd like to thank Jeff Joyner for coming from Ohio.
Have you ever wondered if there are any rules on parenting issued by the government, or if many regulations on regular parenting and just money-wise for children? Hi, I'm Graham Carell. Before we get into the topic, I would like to thank Jeff Joyner for coming.
If virtual reality is put in the school system, it would allow students to enter and witness history for themselves, providing an interactive experience that most schools can't provide. It would allow people to experience things that would be impossible or otherwise dangerous, like to enter a tornado or to go into the bloodstream and see how our body fights off viruses. Imagine a class trip to Mount Everest or the Grand Canyon. Learning how to use VR may soon be a beneficial skill for entering the workplace, as businesses adopt ways to use VR to enhance productivity.
If a child were to get money from a grandparent, a parent can't legally take money away and use it for the parent's good. You would have to, and this is typically illegal, but a child can go to their pediatrician or therapist. They can go and they can issue a complaint, go to a small claims court, depending on how much money, and they can sue their parent.
Also useful in law enforcement. Studies show that it's not only successful but cost efficient. A normal training program is costly because of all the supplies that are needed, while the VR training program was made by experienced law enforcement to create realistic scenarios that a typical classroom setting cannot do.
All right, good job. All right, so we're going to put these boys on the spot with some impromptu speaking. I've asked them to get up and share one thing they've learned from my book or from this class.
Something I learned from the book is organizing. Organizing a speech is really important, because if you show up and you don't have anything, you'll probably forget some stuff. Something that might help is like organizing plays in hockey, like in life, just regularly organizing is something that's needed.
One thing I learned from the book is going the extra mile and like doing these extra things, and I like doing that, and I want to keep doing that, and like doing some extra things people might not notice but make some big differences. That's what I want to do.
I learned was how to organize and present what I want to say so that people can understand and know what I'm trying to tell them.
Is Nick here, came today just as a visitor, and we're putting him on the spot to do a speech. And so, take it away.
Hi, my name's Nick, and something that I learned about the book is that connect with your audience, so like they'll stay like focused and they won't get like how like some people they like look at their notes all the time, so they'll just get bored and just like not really listen. But I would try and like look up and like not really use notes and stuff. To, like,
My favorite video of Jeff Joyner's YouTube channel called An Epic Life. is the one where his van got stolen. He handed his keys to the shady guy, part of a van company, who parked. He gave guy $20, didn't get a receipt, handed him his keys. Next thing they knew, it was gone. And then he went and found the guy again. Jeff attacks him. He pulls out this black plastic thing. He steps away, and then he says, "Bring out the white van." And then the white van comes out. And he says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So yeah.
My favorite video from An Epic Life is the Tootsie Roll one, because I like his face, Jeff's face, when he goes like, "Tootsie Roll."
Who wants a Tootsie Roll? And he's throwing it, and we're like, Tootsie Rolls! Jumping up and down, trying to catch a Tootsie Roll. My heart is racing.
And it's technically where he just, his school, like he gets told to like sell a bunch of candy bars, and he doesn't really make any. He doesn't really get the Tootsie Roll or the garbage can, or like the
NFL garbage can.
or the flying bird thing. That's fine.
All right, good job.
Hi, I'm John. I'm 11 years old, and my favorite video is the Tootsie Roll Pop, the Tootsie Roll piggy bank, because I like Tootsie Rolls.
Favorite video is probably the greatest show of all time. I did not see the ending coming. It was really funny.
What you learned from teaching this class.
Yes.
And if you want your favorite Epic Life video.
Okay, let me think. All right, my name is Katie. I teach this great class with these great students. 2 of them came back just for today, and that was just such a pleasure to see them again. Goodness, so my favorite video, way too many. I got the pleasure of going through all of them because I had to pick certain ones that went with that topic, right? And so, gosh, you know, I don't mean to take the one you liked, but I do love the Corbett one. Going that extra mile, I think that just puts you heads and shoulders in front of everybody. And you know what it helps me do? Not be selfish. Because it's so easy to be selfish, right, you guys? And so what I really like about that video is it says, what can I do for somebody else, right? Well, how can I go that extra mile, give that extra effort? I think that's what's gonna make all the difference in life, right? Make those memories, make those connections. And I think that's a way to communicate. You're communicating with your time and your energy when you go that extra mile. And then in regards to teaching this class, what I learned that, you know, sometimes in one chapter, just a paragraph, you can just sit on a paragraph and say, wow, I wish I would have, so many times I said, I wish I would have learned this. So by teaching this class, I said, out of all of this knowledge in this chapter, what would I love these middle schools to know that could help them in their life? And so I really tried to focus on how can they apply this? How can we learn this in a way that the parents will see a difference in them and they can look back and that can impact their lives. One chapter we really focused a lot about was on fear, right? Why do we get the jitters? Why does our mouth feel like cotton balls? Because we're being selfish and thinking about ourselves versus how can I impact this audience? What call to action can I give them? What can I teach them, right? And with the Heritage Co-op being Christian, we can really focus on some of those conversations to lead people in our direction and give them some things to think about. So it's been just such an honor teaching this class and getting to know these great kids and they're great parents. And so I'm looking forward to next year.
Yay!
Yay!